Hi and welcome to this video. So in this video we are going to discuss about how we can construct K-maps. Okay, so let's just have a look at the construction of K-maps step by step. Okay, so the very first step is that how many number of cells in a table we are going to have. Because see, if I'm going to construct a table, I need to specify that okay, this many number of rows should be in the table and this many number of columns are going to be in the table. So how we are going to determine that how many number of cells are going to be in that table? So that is a big question for me. Now the answer to that question is that what we are supposed to do, the number of cells depends upon the number of variables in the expression. We have already discussed in our previous video. If you have not gone through that video, please just have a look at that video. Okay. So the number of cells are dependent upon the number of variables. Suppose if I have two variables, so how many number of cells I am going to have? That is 2 raised to power 2. I have already told you in my previous lessons that why we are always saying that whatever we are going to calculate, we always calculate that by taking a power of 2. Why? Why only base 2? Because in digital electronics, we are going to deal with only two numbers, that is either 0 or 1. There is no third option. Okay, so that is why in every situation, whenever we are dealing in digitals, in every case we are going to have base as a 2. Okay, so the next thing that comes is, let's just have a look at that with the help of an example. Suppose if I have this equation, I need to minimize this equation, that is AB plus A complement BC. Now if you can just have a look that this equation is going to contain three variables. The first one is A, the next one is B, and the third one is C. So that means in total I have three variables in my equation. So now there are three variables. So the table is going to have 2 raised to power 3, that is 8 cells. Okay, table can be drawn in two different ways. What are those two different ways? We are going to have a look. First way, what you can do, see, now I'm saying that my table is going to have 8 cells. Now that option is entirely with me. Either I can have 4 rows and 2 columns, or I can have 2 rows and 4 columns. That is my choice. So the first way is what I'm going to take. I have taken 2 rows and 4 columns. Okay, now inside that, how I'm going to represent, if I'm saying 2 rows, so that means these rows are going to represent only single variable. Let's say that variable I have taken that as A. Okay, so here because there are 4 columns, so that means total 2 variable combinations could be there. How? Because 2 raised to power 2 is equals to 4. So here I am going to represent the combination of B, C. Okay, so what are the possible inputs that we can give? See, A can have either 0 value or it can have a value that is 1. Okay, now what BC can have value? Both B and C variable could be 0, 0. Okay, there is a possibility that B is 0 but C is 1. There is a possibility that both are 1. There is a possibility that B is 1 but C is 0. So these are the possible combinations. Okay, now again that is entirely my choice. If I want to represent B as an individual entity and AC as the combined entity, it doesn't affect the result. Okay, so I can take in that way also. What I can do, I can take B as the single entity and AC as the combined entity, or I can take C as the single entity and AB as the combined entity. That is not going to affect the result. Okay, it is not going to make any difference in my result. Okay, so this is the first way. Now what is the second way? In second way, what I am going to do, I am going to take 4 rows and 2 columns. Okay, I am going to just I'm going to just rotate the first way. Now when I am going to rotate this first way, so vertically I am going to have 4 rows, so which means vertically I am going to represent the combination of two variables. Okay, like BC, and horizontally there is only one single variable, that is A. Okay, now BC, so in case of A, I can have either 0 or I can have 1. In case of BC, both the inputs could be 0. There is a possibility that B is 0, C is 1. There is a possibility both are 1. There is a possibility that B is 1 and C is 0. So rest everything is same. In the same manner, I can show the single entity, I can change the single entity. For example, I can represent B instead of A and AC instead of this BC. Rest everything is going to be same as the first way. Okay, it is not going to, see, again and again I'm telling you that these representations are not going to affect the result. The result would remain same whether you are going to use this combination or you are going to use this combination. That doesn't make any difference. Okay, so now the next point is, okay, I have drawn the table. Now the point comes that in which cell I am going to represent which term. That is the next question. Which cell is going to represent which term? So let's just have a look at that. So how to fill the cells of table in K-map. Now we have seen that, okay, how we are going to construct a table, how many number of rows are going to be in my table, how many number of columns are going to be in my table. Now we need to look at the fact that how we are going to fill the particular entries inside that table. Okay, so let's just start with the K-map with two variables. Okay, see, my equation can have 2 variable, 3 variable, 4 variable and up to so on. So my equation cannot have a single variable. If variable is single, there is no need to simplify that expression. Okay, so I'm going to start with the K map of 2 variable. Okay, now how many number of rows and how many number of cells are going to be in my table? That is 2 raised to power 2. Since there are 2 variable, so 2 raised to power 2, total of 4. So my table is going to have total 4 cells. Okay, since I have only 2 variables, so I am going to have 2 rows and 2 columns. Okay, both are going to represent the single entity. Okay, so here I am going to represent A and here I am going to represent B. Now I have taken A, B, you can take X, Y, P, Q, that is entirely your choice. Okay, that doesn't make any difference because my equation can have the variable that can be given any name. Okay, so now what are the possible values A can have? A can have 0, A can have 1. Similarly, B can have 0, B can have 1. Okay, now see, if both A and B are 0, so that means I am talking about a value which is 0. So I have written 0 in this cell. In K-maps, why we are going to write down this particular number? Now see, this is the notation of K-map that you are supposed to write this number at the bottom right corner of the cell. This is the rule of your K-map, that you are supposed to write down this number at the bottom right corner. Why we need this? Because whenever we are going to put our terms inside the K-map table, so these numbers are going to make that easy for us. We need not to calculate every time. Okay, now I am going to explain you how these numbers are going to come, but every time you need not to calculate that. Okay, because if we are going to do so much of work, then probably Boolean algebra is going to be easy as compared to your K-maps. So we are saying that K-maps are very easy. So why? Because of these things, right? So now when your A variable is 0 and B is 1, so that means combination is of 0, 1. If I'll convert this binary digit into the decimal digit, the result comes out to be 1. If you don't know about the conversions of binary to decimal or from decimal to binary, you can view my previous videos as well. Okay, in which I have explained that how you can convert binary number into decimal number. Okay, so the next combination is 1 0. Now if I am going to convert 1 0 into your decimal number, it comes out to be 2. The next number is 1 1. Both A and B are 1. So that means if I'll convert this 1 1 into decimal, the number comes out to be 3. Okay, so this is how my cells containing these numbers. Now whenever I'm going to fill the equation here, I'm going to look at these numbers. Okay, how we are going to do that? Let's just discuss. Before that, let's just have a look at the K map of 3 variables. Okay, now 3 variable, as we have already discussed in our previous videos, now either horizontally or vertically I'm going to represent single entity, and on the other side I am going to represent the double entity since it is having 3 variable. Okay, so I have chosen that, okay, Vertically I am going to represent the double entity, and horizontally I am going to represent the single entity. That is entirely your choice. Okay, so here there is a single entity, that is A. Here there is a double entity, which is B, C. Now similarly, A can have either 0 or 1 value. B, C, both B, C could be 0. B could be 0, C could be 1. Both could be 1, or B is 1 and C is 0. Okay, these are the possible combination. Now when all the terms are 0, result comes out to be 0. When A is 0, B, C is 0, 1, result comes out to be 1. Again I am saying you, if you don't know how to convert your binary number system into decimal number system, please go through my previous videos. Okay, get to know properly that how this conversion is being done. Okay, next, if A is 0, B, C is 1, 1, so I am going to have a result that is 3. Okay, and next is if A is 0, B, C is 1 and 0, the result is 2. Now see, in books you can find out the two different ways. If you are going to represent 1, 0 here, so 2 will come here. Okay, so that is entirely your choice where you want to represent. Accordingly, the table is going to get changed. If what I am saying that if you will write 1, 0 here at the third number, so this cell will represent a value 2. Okay, since I have written 1, 1 here, so this cell is representing a value 3. Okay, now I have already told you that how many cells, how many combinations could be there, that are ranging from 0 till 7 if there are 3 variables. Okay, so I have written 0, 1, 2, 3. The next term is if your A is 1 but BC is 0, so it is representing 4. Next, if your A is 1, B and C is 0, 1, so this term is 5. Next, if A is 1 and BC is 1, 0, so that is representing 6. And if all are 1, that is representing 7. So this is how the possible combinations are there. I am saying that how many total number of cells could be there, that is 2 raised to power n. If number of variables are 3, so I want to say that total combinations could be 8 starting from 0, so it could range till 7. That means 0 till 7. So I have written all those cell numbers. Okay, so in the next video we are going to simplify one Boolean expression with the help of this K map. Okay, let's just meet in the next video. Bye bye.